start the program off by introducing one of our dear friends and your dear friends, and she has been so gracious to have this wonderful event here at her beautiful home, Alka Bargov. Alka, again, yes, absolutely. She's a dear friend. She's the founder and the executive director for AUM Foundation and the amazing woman behind the Pathway to Success program. The mission of the program is to support and empower under-resourced young women. It's a reflection of her desire to help others succeed. She is the power behind the program, the mama bear, and definitely a force to be reckoned with. It's my privilege, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce Alka Bargov.
Well, thank you, Darren. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome. I hope everybody is enjoying the mimosas, the music, the ambiance. Welcome. And thank you so much for taking valuable time out of your day to be here today to support AUM Foundation and the Pathway to Success program. So let me first start by thanking our presenting sponsors. All the way from Seattle, Mr. Henry Ross of Laird Norton Wealth Management. Can I have a round of applause? Mr. and Mrs. Sean and Holly Fairburn and Mr. Todd Slyman representing Placemakers North America. He is not here at the moment, but he will be because he has a speech to give. He better show up. So, besides the presenting sponsors, I want to thank each and every one of you and all the sponsors, the gold, the silver, the bronze, and anyone who has contributed in any which way, whether it's time, money, or energy. I really, really appreciate you. I would like to recognize my mom, Mrs. Nirmal Bhargav, who has traveled all the way from India to give her blessings today. Mom is an inspiration to me, has been all lifelong. She still scolds me for whatever reason and keeps me on the straight and narrow. So this program has a lot to do with my dear mother. And of course, we would not be here if it wasn't for my partner in crime, my partner in life, Mr. Raj Kanija. Raj is definitely a force to reckon with. He makes sure that I have all the resources I need to do what I want to do. Truly, this would not be possible without him because I've had many a weak moment and it's his strength that carries me through. So thank you. I just want to give you the picture of what a typical student in this program looks like. Okay, so a typical student in this program is economically challenged. She is a high school senior in either a Madison City School, a Huntsville City School, or in Madison County. So this program is very, very local. It is right here, ladies and gentlemen. The young lady is, 80% of them are STEM majors. And all of you in this city know that STEM is our workforce. We need these STEM majors. We want to make these STEM majors very successful because we need women, and especially minority women, to be in these majors. A good 80%, oh no, really, actually 90% are minorities. About 70 to 80% live in hub zones. And some of you know what hub zones are. Those are historically underutilized business zones in this area. And that's, again, a very important area that we want to develop, right? So then most of these young ladies are being brought up either by a single parent or by an extended family member, and sometimes by, they're the foster kids. Right now, I have 2 foster kids in the program. A good majority of them have suffered some childhood trauma, either a death, a divorce, or some kind of violence in their lives. Most of them do not have a computer or a printer at home. And even if they do have them, lots of times they don't have the internet. Okay. Most of them do not have transportation. We are constantly struggling to get kids over to where they need to be, when they need to be. Okay. A good number of them may or may not have a cell phone. We take it for granted every day. What would we do without a cell phone? But a good number of them do not have cell phones, and even if they do, the cell phones seem to run out of minutes, halfway through the month. I wanted to talk about one student in particular who had gotten a full ride to college, but was still not being able to go. And you wonder why, right? Now, some of you have a slip given to you. Does anybody have a slip? Right at the front desk? Yes? What does your slip say, Don? Okay, so this kid who was thank you, Don. This kid who was going to go to Alabama State University did not have the money for that orientation fee. Okay, anybody else have a slip? Yes, Tamara? Technology fee, all right. Anybody else have a slip? Yes, Miss Acacia? Facility fee $100. Valerie? Correct. So all these fees, ladies and gentlemen, add up one after the other. And it adds up to 10,000 or more easily. Okay? So if a kid has a full ride, doesn't mean the kid is able to go to school. The $2,000 scholarship that AUM Foundation gives is a flexible scholarship. And a kid is able to use it for books, for lab fees, for technology fees, for orientation fees, for any kind of fees that they need to use it for. And some of them, if they have other kinds of financial aid, are able to use it for just food. A lot of times you see statistics where minority kids, they get to good colleges but are not able to do well. Guess why? It's because a lot of these things that we take for granted that we can supply, a computer, a phone, or whatever a child needs, they can't have access to it. So that's about what the scholarship does for them. And actually, I wanted to call upon one of our guests who is not here at the moment. Her name is Dr. Patricia Sims, and a lot of you might know her. But Dr. Patricia Sims was the force behind getting this young lady to college. Because, believe me, it's you, the community, who makes it happen. It is not magic of any kind. It's not program of any kind. It's our community standing right here that makes it happen. Let me tell you just a little quick overview of the program for those of you who don't know about it. So the program is a unique combination of 4 things. Mentoring is 1. Number 2 is classes. Number 3 is job shadowing, career exploration, and of course the scholarship. Would any mentor over here raise their hands, please? I want to see the mentors. Okay. So please give a hand to them. These women are successful women in our community who have taken it upon themselves to make a difference in one child's life at a time. Okay? They spend 1 hour a week helping a kid for 1 whole year. As you know, mentoring is a research-based intervention that has been shown to make youth very successful. It helps them avoid risky behaviors, and it builds them up and builds up their resilience. Then we have job shadowing or career, exploration. Is there anyone here who has helped one of our kids in career exploration? Please give them a hand. Thank you. So what you might see is Michelle here? Michelle Gray? Would you just come up here, Michelle? Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, take a good look at Michelle because she will reach out to you when we need somebody to help us with job shadowing or career information. Michelle is in charge of career exploration, and I just want you to put a name to a face because she is the lady who does it all. Thank you. So, yes, thank you, Michelle. So this is a very important part. Is Mary Lynn Wright here? She was supposed to be. So Mary Lynn Wright is the CEO of Madison Hospital, and every year she has all our girls who are interested in the medical careers come out, and all their professionals come and make presentations to the girls so that they know how to get where they need to be. And then the last component, but not the least, is enrichment classes. I do have Ms. Duania here. Is there any other trainer here who has trained our kids? Not right now. But Debbie McGee is here, and Debbie just helped us out not long ago with a class because she has instructors on her team that were able to help us out. What we do is we look for topics that is not being taught in academia, and we use these trainers to teach those topics to our kids. So, for instance, now all of you are working in corporate America or in business of some kind. I bet you know that just technical knowledge and academic knowledge does not make a good employee, right? What makes a good employee is someone who has emotional intelligence, someone who knows how to resolve conflicts, someone who is a team person, right? Now, all these things are not being taught in any school, okay? But we teach them. So we are preparing the next generation of workers. We are preparing people, leaders, who are going to go to your workplace and do well in your workplace, okay? So now I get to brag on some of our achievements. Number one, we have had 27 kids go through our program so far, and all 27 graduated from high school. 26 kids out of the 27 are either in a 4-year degree college, in a 2-year degree college, or in vocational school. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So these kids are already on their way to fulfilling the vision of our program. The vision of our program is that every woman who goes through this program is going to be financially independent. Not only is she going to be financially independent, but she's going to come back and pay it forward in our community. Then the next achievement we have is we measure the self-esteem of our kids before and after the program. We use a measurement tool called the Rosenberg self-esteem tool, measurement tool, and believe it or not, they increased 100%. 100% increase in your self-confidence. What would that do for you? Okay. I was blown away because when I started this program, seriously, I didn't know how successful it would be, right? But these are the measurements that show me that these kids are really gaining from the program. Okay. Then the other enhancement we did, which I would like to thank Clay Hagan, who's representing Torch Technologies today. Clay, can you raise your hand? There he is. So Torch Technology decided last year to support us. And for the investment of about $6,000, each kid in the program got private ACT tutoring. And you know the result of that private ACT tutoring? 3 kids got full rides 3. 65% saw a significant increase in their ACT score. And you know how important that is, that ACT score. And the highest increase, one kid got a 43% increase in her ACT score. So I'm telling you, it was just wonderful. Each kid gets approximately 144 hours of mentoring over the 1 year they are with us. Okay. So I'm sure I'm forgetting some of our achievements. If anybody remembers anything else that I'm missing right now, please feel free to pipe up. Now I want to talk about things that we are doing this year onwards, okay? So one of the enhancements is that we are taking all our kids to Berea College. And I can thank Torch Technologies for that suggestion as well, because Bill Rourke was at that meeting when we presented the change, the gains we had in ACT. And Bill said, you know what? I went to Berea College. And I'm like, the CEO of a really excellent company went to Berea College, fine. Then he says Berea College is a completely free college. If a kid can get in, guess what? Their financial headaches for the 4 years that they're going to take to do the degree are kind of sort of over. So we are taking all our kids to Berea College. And Miss Holly, can you raise your hand? There is Miss Holly. Holly works for Interlink Mortgage Company, and she helped us, guided us to apply for a grant with Interlink Family Foundation, and they gave us a grant to take all the kids to Berea College. So thank you, Holly. So besides that, this year we have been able to give each and every kid tutoring in essay writing. Okay, so essay writing is a weak point for a lot of us. I'm not that good with it either. So there is a lady in our community who spent 22 hours of her time teaching each and every kid how to write a good essay. Okay. Besides that, I don't know, is Kitty Davenport here? Okay. Kitty donated books to help each and every kid write a good essay. Further enhancement, we had a fantastic intern from Randolph School work with us this entire summer. Her name is Brooke Harmon. She was supposed to be here, but for some reason she's not. But Brooke Harmon put together a peer-to-peer mentoring program with Randolph School and our kids. And what they're going to do is work together on applying to colleges, work together on holding each other accountable about different things, and research scholarships together. So I am really excited about this. Miss Paula, am I missing any enhancement to the program? No. Okay, so we are truly excited. In closing, I just want to say, this community is fantastic. I could not ask for a better place to try and put together a program like this. You guys step up, you guys pay up, you guys are there. And it is wonderful. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And I always say this, it is kind of cliched, but it's true. We are only as strong as our weakest link. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for always making our weakest link stronger. Thank you. And now I'm going to go ahead and introduce Mr. Henry Ross.
Ross Henry.
Oh, Ross Henry.
My whole life that's been going on. No work.
So it is my pleasure to introduce Ross Henry, client advisor at Laird Norton Wealth Management. Based in Seattle, Washington, Laird Norton manages nearly $5 billion in assets and provides investment management, financial planning, and trust and estate services to high net worth families, nonprofits, endowments, and foundations across the globe. For more than 50 years, Laird Norton has been proud to support the community by making critical investments in forward-thinking projects and organizations such as ours that can improve lives and communities for years to come. Please join me in welcoming Ross Henry to the podium to say a few words.
Thank you, Alka. Yes, all this talk of college, I just have to tell one quick story. My whole life I've been called Henry Ross, and Alka, you can call me anything you like. But I took many exams in college, and I remember going into my math exam, it was my final exam, and I was very excited to see how I did. I was hoping I did well. But anyway, went in to get the exam and said, Ross Henry here to pick up my exam. No exam. I was like, really? I remember taking the exam. And so no exam, no exam. Then it dawned on me and said, well, can you check under Henry Ross? And sure enough, so I did make the exam. So, but no, again, on behalf of Laird Norton Wealth Management, I wanted to share just how delighted I am that I could be here with the supporters and friends and families of Pathway to Success tonight. For many of you, Laird Norton Wealth Management is probably a new name. And as Alka mentioned, we specialize in investment management, financial planning, and trust and estate work for high net worth individuals, foundations, nonprofits, and high net worth families as well. We're based in Seattle, Washington, but we're privileged to work with clients throughout the country and, in fact, the globe. In the time that I've spent with Alka, I'm sure many of you know this from working with her or meeting or being around her, that I've quickly discovered that when she's passionate about an issue or a cause, watch out. There is no stopping Alka. She pours her heart and soul into those endeavors, as evidenced by this wonderful event tonight. I'm actually a little jealous because I'm trying to instill that same passion when we meet and I talk about asset allocation with her in Seattle. I have a long ways to go. But in all seriousness, I've had the pleasure of working with Alka and Raj, and through them I've been able to learn a lot about the amazing work that Pathway to Success, the Pathway to Success program has done to empower girls through the mentoring, career exploration, job shadowing, scholarships, financial assistance, just an amazing organization. And at Laird Norton, we really look for partnerships that align with the values of our firm, where we can leverage our expertise and our resources so that we can advance the missions like these. Our firm was actually formed in 1967 by the Laird Norton families. They're an amazing family. They're in 7th generation, 425 family members strong and still going. And they really understand that a transformational impact of strategic investments can have on future generations. And this is exactly what Alka and you and all the supporters of Pathway to Success understand. It's by investing in education and empowerment, we are impacting many, many lives. Again, really proud to sponsor Pathway to Success in these efforts, and thank you for inviting me and for allowing us to come.
Thank you, Ross Henry. So, ladies and gentlemen, next I have Sean and Holly. So, Sean and Holly Fairburn. So, architect Sean Fairburn, Vice President and partner in Legacy Homes, and his lovely wife, Holly. Can we have a round of applause? They just got married.
After a really long time.
They are friends and supporters of Pathway to Success and helped sponsor our garden party. Their concern for the community and support for programs that impact those who need it most is the reason that they are here today. I can't express how much we appreciate the efforts, which I already told you. She's the one who made it possible to get the grant for Berea College. Please help me welcome Mr. and Mrs. Fairburn.
Hello, everybody. It's really great to see a lot of familiar faces out here tonight, but even better than that is seeing all these faces I've never seen before and getting to meet people who, like Sean and myself, take the time and the energy and the money to help support something like AUM. I've been fortunate to be involved with several fundraisers, shopping for jewelry, doing different things, having a lot of fun with Alka and her girls and these strong women that stand beside her. But this year, I was speaking to Alka and I told her that I work for a company, Interlink Mortgage Services, and we have our own foundation. It's called Interlink Family Foundation. And what we stand behind is empowering young people as well. So I told her it's the perfect fit. And so she went online, she got the application, and between she and I, we were able to secure a grant for $7,400, like she said, to send those girls to Berea College. I know he's not here tonight, but my CEO and owner, Jim Van Steenhouse, is like Alka. He has a big heart and he cares about children, and he wants to see everyone be successful throughout their lives, and he also wants to see them bring it back to where they started from. So I feel like we're a lot alike in those senses. And so I'm kind of here on a dual mission this evening. I've already had the opportunity to present that check on behalf of our foundation to Alka to help with the Pathway to Success program. And then that night I went home and I told Sean that I couldn't believe what I had learned throughout the process. Alka was kind enough, she and Annette, to have me and 5 women from my office over to their office, and she sat down with us and she went through a program, which I hope you'll get to see tonight on some of the slides here. And she helped me to learn and really see behind the curtain of what she does on a daily basis and what she does with all these strong women, like I said, that stand out here tonight, that stand beside her and help mentor and coach and lead these young girls down their path. I'm sorry, I'm going to get emotional. But, excuse me. But literally sitting there, I was so excited for all my girlfriends to see what she's doing and where this money went. But, seeing these young women on the screen and the struggles that they've had and what they've overcome and where they're helping them get to, it really, really touched my heart. And so I told Sean, I was like, we have to do something. There's got to be something that we can do together. And so here we stand tonight, me, a blubbering mess in front of you, to tell you that I hope you take the opportunity to see behind the curtain that I got to see behind, and to really learn about these girls and learn about their mentors and their coaches and what's happening in our community, because it really is a special thing. You don't see this hardly ever, quite honestly. I've lived in a lot of communities across this great country, and it really is tremendous, not only what she's doing, but how the community rallies behind her and this program to change these young women's lives. So I just want to thank you and thank all of you.
Now, Alka, she'll wear you out, believe me, but she got Holly fired up, and there was no way that we would do anything less. And we're super proud to help support this program. And Alka, you're amazing. First of all, for putting up with Raj, for one thing. I don't know how you do that, but it's amazing. A lot of people can, giving money and donating is one thing, but to give all the time and dedication, that's a whole new level. But anyway, great job. We're proud to be here and look forward to doing more in the future.
Thank you, Sean and Holly. I really, really appreciate your support. It means a lot. So next is Todd here. Okay, we'll schedule Todd for later. But right now I have Mr.
Glad to be back and make an introduction. Here we are. Okay. Tamara Thomas. She's an exceptional young lady and a member of the first Pathway to Success graduating class in 2016. She graduated, yes. She graduated from Lee High School with a GPA of 3.7. Although we all have difficulties, this young woman has overcome obstacles that most of us have been fortunate enough not to have to face. We believe that the Pathway to Success program helped her develop her resilience and self-determination that continue to move her forward. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Ms. Tamara Thomas.
Hi, how are you guys? That's good. I'm nervous, as you guys can see. Like I'm nervous. So bear with me. As you know, my name's Tamara Thomas. I'm 19. 2 years ago, I had the honor of being a part of the pilot program for AUM Foundation Pathway to Success program. If you're not familiar with the program, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. The purpose is to help young ladies like myself become financially independent. To help us gain some of those tools to become financially independent, we had to attend monthly workshops. Those workshops consisted of subjects like finance, etiquette class, and cooking and nutrition. Etiquette class taught me how to present my best self in various situations. The finance classes taught me about taxes and credit. That class taught me how to build and maintain my credit score, which is really good for a 19-year-old. What I learned in each of those areas goes beyond what is typically taught at home or in school, but they were much needed in my life. The one class that meant more to me than any other class was the cooking class. And it wasn't because of the food, even though the food was really good. After everyone had eaten, all the mentors had told us about their personal stories, about how they got to where they are today. All those amazing women told us about the struggles and the challenges they had to overcome to become successful. As I sat here in Miss Alka's beautiful home, I realized all the work that had to go into it. And that made me aspire to want more than what I had grown up with. We also had the opportunity to job shadow. I had the honor of shadowing an ex-Marine, a wonderful nurse from Huntsville Hospital, and an entire HR department. While shadowing the nurse, I learned that I could not handle the emotional aspect that came with nursing. Like, it was just not for me. And I would take my work home with me at night. Growing up, I knew I loved caring for people, but after observing the nurse and the entire HR department, I realized that I can look after people in other ways than just healthcare. Those two experiences helped me to answer questions like, can I handle this on a daily basis? And they also helped me discover my future career path. When I first heard of the Pathway to Success program, I knew that I would receive a $2,000 scholarship if accepted. Knowing how much of a difference that would make in my family's financial situation, that was my primary motivation. I didn't realize at the time that I would get so much more out of this program. The program began, and I was excited for all the things that I would learn. Even though I was excited, I also was skeptical, because on top of being a senior, let's just leave it there. On top of being a senior, I was enrolled in 3 advanced placement classes. I played softball, and I worked at least 30 hours a week. The thought of adding anything else to my schedule was not appealing at all. So I was surprised to actually have a connection with my mentor, Miss Evelyn, in the way that I did and still do today. Miss Evelyn is a tiny little woman, no bigger than Miss Alka, and just as sweet as she can be. We built our relationships through weekly activities like working out, dinner, and talks in the park. She was invested and really showed that she cared for me. I love my mentor because she supports me. She supports my dreams, my goals, and my aspirations. She gives me a guidance of a woman who has been in my shoes, but she doesn't hesitate to give me tough love. Although the program and my mentor exceeded my expectations, life had a habit of getting in the way. Originally, my plan was to attend college in August 2017, but due to personal issues, I faced a number of challenges. One of the most critical was I ended up homeless. It was a very difficult time in my life. Through it all, my mentor and Miss Alka were my support system. They didn't just listen to me talk about my problems, but they helped me. They helped me to take action. Miss Alka helped me get my driver's license. She also helped me get an apartment. She also helped me to get an apartment. Um, she also connected me with the sponsor of the Calhoun Ambassadors Program. That networking not only allowed me to become an ambassador, but also receive an additional scholarship. Because of those opportunities, I am on track for graduation from Calhoun in 2020. Then I plan to attend a four-year university. Most importantly, I will continue to live financially independent. Throughout these past 2 years, these women have guided me, supported me, loved me, and most importantly, accepted me. Even though the program technically ended with my high school career, it never really ended for me. Miss Alka and Miss Evelyn are still rooting me on whenever I need it. They are still willing to accept me despite my shortcomings. And that is the spirit of this program. And I'd like to be able to give that to other young ladies like myself. Let me stop crying. Get my life together. Gotta get my life together. Okay. And I'd like to give that to another young lady someday. Right now I don't have much to give, but in the future I do plan to become a mentor and then expand the AUM Foundation to young ladies like myself across the country. It's funny to think I started all of this for the promise of $2,000. The love and the opportunities I have received are worth so much more. I don't know where I would be without this woman or Miss Evelyn. Like, I don't know where I would be. I don't want any girl to miss out on what I have been so lovingly given. My life has again and again been changed by this program and the people in it, and for that I am thankful. Thank you.
The reason we're here, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'd like to introduce Danielle Miller, owner, engineer of Interspec Technologies, LLC. Danielle founded Interspec in 2009 and is a 14-year aerospace and defense industry professional who has provided data analytics and systems and software engineering expertise to customers at the U.S. Army, U.S. Air Force, and NASA. Danielle truly has a heart for her community, is a champion for entrepreneurs, and enjoys sharing time with her husband, daughter, and son. Ladies and gentlemen, Danielle Miller.
Well, happy to be here. Happy to see so many people join us today. As was said, I am Danielle Miller. I am a mentor this year in the Pathway to Success program. And I didn't start just this year. And so I wanted to tell you, as you've heard today, there's lots of different ways to be involved. And as Alka mentioned at the opening, this is year number 3 for this wonderful organization. The very first year, I did not have time to do anything in my world. And Alka knows, and there's others that are laughing because they know me, and I'm always, like you said, a heart for the community, but I just couldn't do anything. And so I had a small little opportunity to help get some of the background things together, like website stuff, just simple little things that you can kind of pop in and help and then pop back out. But I was a strong supporter from day one because I saw the opportunity for this to be something beautiful with a person like Alka manning it. So the second year came around, and Alka asked again, can you be a mentor? I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do that this year. It's a lot that I need to kind of still get together. Lots of things going on, right? But she gave this wonderful opportunity, as you heard earlier, about job shadowing. I said, hey, I could do that. I could do that. I'm an engineer. There's lots of ladies in this group that are thinking about engineering. Let's get together and have them kind of see what that looks like. And so I was able to participate in that way and have some ladies come over and ask all kinds of questions. We did some, actually I love Legos. We used Legos for some analysis and some discussion and just kind of thinking through logic and say, would you like to do this every day? You know, and give them that opportunity. And so now that we stand here in the third year of this program, I am so thankful to be able to participate as a mentor. And my mentee is actually here today, and that's Miss Kayla Dunlap, right there. And we are having fun, I would say. We actually took a picture over here at the photo booth, so if you haven't done that, go over there and do that. It's really fun. So as a mentor, I have the blessing each week to spend at least an hour with Kayla. And sometimes, you know, as a business owner, we have lots of different things that we're juggling. You know, I'm a mother, we've got soccer games and all these different things that are going on. And I also, you know, participate in other things as I can. But the joy of my week, really, for the things that I do for this community is getting to come and meet with Kayla. She's got so many wonderful things that are happening. At the same time, so many things that I'm just like, okay, wait, we got to work through that. And that's how life is, you know. And I would have loved to have someone that could walk me through those days when that was my world. And actually, sometimes even now, that's your world. You know, we all have that, where there's this kind of pendulum that swings back and forth. But in our community, we usually have somebody to lean on. Even if it's just a spouse or even a child, a good friend, there's somebody to lean on. And what these young ladies need is somebody that's been there, done that, has a different viewpoint to give them a little bit of time, just a little bit of time to make a difference. To listen, you know, to be someone that they can ask questions to and know that they're going to get a fair and honest answer. There's no motivation behind this, so there's an opportunity for good trust building and for a young lady to know what that feels like. What does that look like? We take that for granted so often that we know that we can trust people for things. There's dependability. But if you couldn't, what would you do? If you didn't know what you were going to have next, if you didn't know where you were going to sleep, if you didn't know what you were going to eat, would you be able to accomplish the things that you accomplish every day? You have lots of other things on your mind. And as mentors, what we're able to do is be a listening ear for those types of experiences, offer some life lessons. I've even shared with Kayla, like, drink water first thing in the morning, and then tell me, does it work? Because it kind of worked for me. It helps me get going. No one taught me that until, like, I don't know, I was 35 or so. Been nice to know it earlier because it really helps. But little things like that we can impart and let these young ladies know sooner than later will really, really, really make a difference. Now, Tamara just said she doesn't have much to give right now. She does, and she did. She just gave a really good example for us of how this organization is making a difference. You are here today, which means you also are willing to give, and you have something to give. And whether it's right now you don't have as much time, kind of like my situation has been the past couple of years, there is a way. You've heard about people that have been able to do grants or donate books or let someone come just watch you work for a little while. It's kind of fun. There are so many opportunities in this dynamic program to really connect, show these young ladies that they are valuable. That alone will change their future. That alone will change this community that we live in. And we have an opportunity to be a bridge, which is what I stand by. Bridge. You have things in your life that you can share, and you have things that you can do to help bridge people over obstacles that they don't have to go through. So join us again. Those of you who are new to the program, have a question about mentoring, come see me. I'm happy to talk to you about it. And thank you, Alka, for letting me participate.
Okay, now it's time to introduce Mr. Clay Hagan. Mr. Hagan, as I mentioned before, is here today representing Torch Technologies, and the Torch helps nonprofit that Mr. Hagan was instrumental in developing. Mr. Clay Hagan is an electrical engineer by education and is currently Senior VP of Corporate Development. As Senior VP, Mr. Hagan has helped Torch grow from a $150 million per year company to over $390 million in 2018. It is an honor to welcome Mr. Clay Hagan.
So they have some notes up here that we had kind of prepared, and Paula was really nice to keep us organized, but at this point I'm kind of going off script. After hearing Tamara speak, you can hear the tenderness of Tamara, but you also the toughness. Tamara tough. So I wanted everybody to raise a hand if you graduated college. And just look around and think about, you go to other neighborhoods where these kids are from, how rare that would be. Now raise your hand again if you graduated college, but neither your mother nor your father graduated college. So first generation. And raise your hand again if not only did your mother and father not graduate college and you graduated, but you didn't have any aunts or uncles or cousins before you went that graduated college. So this cycle can be broken. I'm a first generation college graduate. Neither my mom or my dad, nor any aunts or uncles, nor any cousins went to college and didn't have a mentor. I'm thinking of Bobby Bradley, and I'm going to tell a little bit of a story. I've told some folks this, but if you look at U.S. News and World Report, and at Torch we like data, and we look at that a lot, and you get into college, is it easy or is it hard? And I know when I went to college, they said, look to your left and look to your right. Only one of you going to make it. And they wanted to, the first 2 years, weed you out. And I looked at U.S. News and World Report, and you know, for a lot of schools, it's still, people enter, they don't always make it. It's not always hard. Both of our daughters graduated college. One of my daughters took a 10-year shortcut to a 4-year degree, but she finished. And you know, it makes a difference. It's not easy, you know. So you go through with no mentor to call, no organization to call, and some of us made it. But in that U.S. News and World Report, it said that 98% of the students that were accepted into Yale University graduated. That's one of the top 3 hardest colleges in this nation, and 98% graduate. And I can't get my head around that. And I'm flying back from Aberdeen to Atlanta. About 44 folks in military fatigues get on the airplane, and a person sits next to me. She's a doctor, and she's been doing her military service, and come to talk a little bit, and I'm really curious about this statistic, and turns out she had graduated from Yale, and she's doing her military time. And I said, I don't understand this. I thought Yale was really hard to get in, and surely to goodness it's got to be really hard to get through. And she said, well, the thing is that when you're accepted into Yale, Yale takes care of Yale. And I said, well, what do you mean by that? And she said, you physically have to quit. They will throw tutors, they will throw mentors, they'll throw extra classes. If you're part of Yale, then you're part of Yale. And she said, when I finished my military service that I'd signed up to do this, because it's kind of patriotic and all, said I can go to any city in the U.S. and either another Yale doctor will help set me up in practice, or a Yale MBA will help set up a practice for me. Yale takes care of Yale. And I think about the folks that are mentors, and I think about the organization, and the one thing from my notes that I will go back to is the organization encourages the students to lean in towards their future. But you know, Tamara, others, when it's needed, lean back on your mentor. Lean back on Alka and this organization. And that's what I want to leave you with, is that if Yale takes care of Yale, we can also have that kind of organization, because when they call back their mentor during their senior year, that's a connection that's not broken. That's somebody to go through when you're like me and you go through your first midterms and you've signed up for harder classes than you really should have signed up for, and you don't know if you can make it. They can pick up that phone, call somebody, and it may be hard. It may not just be a walk in the park, but they can make it through. And it does break the cycle of poverty. So with that, Godspeed and good luck.
Thank you, Clay. Let me direct everyone's attention to our screen here. The video you are about to see is going to give you an intimate look into the Pathway to Success program and how it impacts the lives of those involved in different ways. You will meet some of the many individuals within the program, see how they are building relationships and providing opportunities, and learn how the program is changing lives one girl at a time. This is the debut of our video, AUM Foundation's Pathway to Success. And yeah, for those of you on this side, if you want to move just a little bit so you can see better.
Were you going to use the video? You already Oh, so it's okay. Yeah, yeah, just go ahead and start it. Are you going to go start it? Yes. You're in charge.
Almost there, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you can see the screen.
Oh, no sound? Uh-oh.
There is sound, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get that figured out. Just a second.
You know, have you miss him? Yeah. Mr. Holder. I know.
We're trying to rig something, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on.
In Huntsville, at any given time, engineers will take care of stuff. whether it's in college or in their work environment or in their personal life.
So we're looking for kids that have a lot of potential, ones that are really, really smart, bright, and are definitely going to go big places in life, but are struggling for one reason or the other, maybe haven't quite found themselves yet, don't have the confidence yet, just people who need an extra push to get to the next level. People gonna love you, I know your mom loves you, but at the end of the day, you have to be responsible for you. And I have a daughter who's 26 that has been our mentor. We're not going to depend on somebody said they were going to do it. No, we're going to do it. If you have to be responsible for you. If young women can be financially independent, make good financial decisions, improve the quality of their lives, and be socially responsible citizens, be engaged in our community, and then give back. That's what we want for all young women, but we certainly want to promote that in our community. In Pathways to Success, the mentors commit to devoting time to the mentee for 10 months during their senior year. The mentor-mentee relationship is absolutely wonderful, and it is key. And I really wish we had programs like this when I was coming up.
I'm more of a guide. I'm not a teacher, I'm not a parent, but I'm someone she can come to and ask questions that she doesn't necessarily want to ask a parent or a teacher.
I have found that I have built a friendship with my mentee. I've had 2 so far.
So I have a young lady that I'm a mentor to. When I expect her at some point in time to grow, do well, then come back to her own community and do the same thing that I'm doing now. So it's really about giving back.
We've been able to actually use our own life skills to kind of show them what we did, how we did it, and another path forward for them. Because we've made enough mistakes on our own along the way, so we want to teach them the best way to do it. The enrichment classes do just what the term implies. It makes people richer. I mean, in a classroom, normal classroom setting, girls and boys are learning their basics, basic, reading, writing, mathematics, but enrichment gives them the opportunity to tap into some of their special gifts and talents. They were designed to go beyond what they may receive in an academic setting, because that's book learning, but the classes are designed to help them with finances and personal care and professional knowledge and skills that they can take with them well beyond any academic setting.
Unless you're in a program such as this one, you don't have the opportunities to go into some of the businesses in our community to see what's out there. You really are trying to figure it out on your own, and because of the job shadowing program, you are exposed to a tremendous amount that most people would not get to see. And because of that, I think the job shadowing program fits extremely well into the program that they've got in place to help these young ladies. So I see this program where each girl is like a pebble and has ripple effects. So when we impact this one life, this one young lady, her influence circle is going to keep expanding.
The Pathways to Success program is near and dear to my heart because I am those girls. Since I figured out how to get out of that situation, I'm always open to share the lessons learned in my life. I want them to turn around and say, hey, okay, someone gave me a leg up, what can I do? And most of the young ladies we work with, they get it. And we always stress how important it is to go back and give to your community, because this is why you're here. I would say invest in your future, and these girls are our future, and it's up to us to set that path. There are many young people who are struggling to find their niche simply because they don't have a person to help guide them through the processes of career exploration, identifying where their strengths are and helping them to
select a career path that plays to their strengths so that they can be successful. So this program meets that need in our community.
I've always felt that women need to be more empowered. And that empowerment really has to be inside you, to think that you deserve this, that you're meant to be strong, you're meant to take positions of responsibility, you're meant to be in the C-suite, so to speak. And my hope is that with what we are doing with our young ladies, we are sowing the seeds of being the women who will reach the C-suite. That is an underlying premise, that you're strong, that you don't need permission from somebody to be empowered. You're empowered. Is Todd Slyman here? Okay. So I thank you everyone for being here. Sorry about that. Okay. So I wanna just say a couple more things. One is I wanna point out that our short-term outcomes and our long-term outcomes. Our short-term outcome is that each girl will graduate from high school, each girl will aspire to be in higher education, and each girl will figure out a career. That's a short-term outcome, expected outcome. Our long-term outcome is that we will get rid of generational poverty, that we will have women who are financially independent, and that they will come back and give to our community. So with that in mind, I'm just going to talk about, I don't know how many of you might have read The Hungry Caterpillar, either yourselves or read it to your kids, but that story is about hope. And our foundation is about hope. And just like a caterpillar turns into a butterfly and flies off, our hope is that our kids in the program will all be butterflies and all be successful in life. I want to take a moment to thank our incredibly hardworking committee that has helped put together everything. I want to thank Mr. Sai's, Sean Sai and Mr. O.D. Sai. Mr. O.D. Sai has been taking pictures all throughout. All pro bono. We are incredibly lucky to have all these people. And if you haven't had a chance, go take a picture at the photo booth. That's his brother, Sean Booth, who does that. I am sure I will forget many people, but I just want to thank, and my friend Simone, who came from Atlanta and has been working all day long. Just amazing, amazing people. And a very critical person for AUM Foundation is Miss Paula Scheer. Where is Paula? There you are. She is so bashful and does not want any limelight, but she is truly, truly such a great, I am simply at a loss for words. She is just wonderful. She does so much to help this program, the girls and everyone. So ladies and gentlemen, I've kept you away from the food very unknowingly. I didn't realize that I needed to say, go have food. Please go have food, and thank you again for being here. If you feel like donating or would like to donate in the future, you know what our website is, and there will be still people who will be willing to take your money. Please. So thank you again. Go enjoy the food and the drinks and everything. And thank you, Mr. LaRose, for your lovely music. All right. Phew, this is over.